Welcome guys to the Meet Damien live stream. I am Damien, and today's live stream we're seeing some love for the bulls right before Valentine's Day. Bitcoin is trying to warm our hearts and make us feel better about being invested in crypto here by jumping up 4% here, getting as high as like $69,000. We saw that earlier today here. And I mean, are we going to continue climbing up into the 70s here? That's what we're going to try to figure out today in this live stream. And then we'll try to figure out, you know, is it going to last? Is this love, this newfound love for Bitcoin, is it going to last for us? Or is Bitcoin going to break our hearts later on this weekend? We shall see, but I figure I throw in a little Valentine Day references there, just to keep things a little bit more entertaining over here. But anyways, I'm looking at the price of Bitcoin right now, currently trading at 68,945. We're up 4% today, up $2,700. We did see Bitcoin as low as like $65,799 here. I am looking at the 4-hour time frame because I saw something that I really liked here for Bitcoin. And that's getting above this white line here, this 21 EMA. Has acted as resistance, you know, over the last 2 days here. Well, except for like back here on Sunday, we actually were above the 21 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. But you know, all throughout like Monday and Tuesday and even Wednesday, going into Thursday, we weren't able to get above the 21 EMA until today. Until this morning, we had this nice little solid candle that started off at $67,000 and it pushed us up to as high as $69,274. And then we kind of pushed up a little bit further than that towards the late morning, early afternoon hours here. And Bitcoin, I mean, according to the 4-hour time frame, it looks like it wants to march on up to higher prices. Let's look at the momentum indicators real quick here. RSI looks fine, right? So we're not overbought yet on the RSI. Here on the MACD, we do have some green buying pressure candles coming in, and nothing looking like it's gonna, you know, turn on us yet. Okay, and then here on the market cipher B indicator, starting to see a little bit of green, a little bit of hope for the longs here for Bitcoin. And you got a green buy dot that came in early this morning, probably while you guys were sleeping, for my American audience here. Probably, you know, just while people were waking up here for my European audience here. But you got a green buy dot on the 4-hour time frame that came in early this morning at 3 a.m. Eastern time here. And I think that was enough to propel us to go to higher prices here. And then what happened this morning, it was like right after the jobs report. Let me go into the 1-hour time frame now. We had a jobs report at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time here. I'm sorry, not a jobs report, inflation report. We had an inflation report that came in that showed that inflation is actually coming down after being, you know, stubborn for the last year or two. We finally seen inflation coming down again, and that was enough, I guess, for the bull. Just take that good news and run with it, because like around like 9 a.m. Eastern time, we saw Bitcoin as low as 67K, and then it climbed up to you know, up to like 68K for like 10 a.m. And then we saw it get as high as like 69K towards the last hour of that 10 o'clock candle here. And then continue on to 11 a.m. Eastern time. We saw $69,400 Bitcoin at one point. But then we closed at 68,900, which is kind of like where we're at. So right now, the trading has been flat. Now that we've got above some of these important moving averages here. Right now, Bitcoin is above the 200 moving average. That's kind of important here on the 1-hour time frame to be above the 200 moving average. If Bitcoin was to like go down to lower prices, I think this 200 moving average should act as support initially at 68,300. Okay. Maybe we get a bounce off of there later on tonight. All right, but like, let me go into the 5-minute candles chart here. You can see that Bitcoin has pretty much, after we hit 69,400. We've been kind of like flatline. We've been stuck between like 68,600 and 69,200, and it's just been flat. And this is giving a little bit of a credence to the bears to start coming in and maybe knock the price down a little bit lower, which is why I think, you know, Bitcoin could come down to 68,000. You know, what I say, 68,300. I think we could see Bitcoin come down to that level. That's kind of like where on the 5-minute time frame, that's almost where this 50 moving average is, this green line is at. And then on the 15-minute time frame, well, yeah, the moving averages on the 15-minute time frame are still below us here at around like 67K. I think if you were interested in shorting Bitcoin, you could try to take profit at 68K and then also take some more profit at $67,000, 67,100 was that these moving averages are at here on the 15-minute time frame. And then let me see, just go back to the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, that 200 moving average is pretty important as well at 68,300. But you know, if the bears are able to push it down to lower prices here, we could actually hit that, you know, lower prices where we could see Bitcoin come down to, 67K, you've got the 21 EMA trying to catch up and provide some support here at 67,400. So there's some levels to look for. Pick whatever levels, whatever moving averages you want to use. Okay, usually the higher time frame moving averages is where we would expect some support. So I'm expecting just that 200 moving average. It's a pretty big deal, sitting at 68,300. I'm expecting that to provide support for the bulls if we do come down to those lower prices here. But let me see what you guys have to say so far about Bitcoin here. Oli Rai says, thoughts on a short on Coinbase? You want a short Coinbase stock? Is that what you're asking me about? We can take a look at Coinbase stock as one of the requests here. Windward Shoe Repair says, weekend is for making money, long Dogecoin every dip. Okay, is that your trading strategy for the weekend here? Oli Rai says, you think we're going down to 50s, $50,000? That was an idea, but all of a sudden Bitcoin just caught some bids over the last couple of days here. So now we're threatening to go to 70K right now, but it could possibly be a lower high. Tech QQQ says, Hyperliquid for a request. All right, so let me write these things down here. Hyperliquid, I believe that's hype is the ticker symbol. And then we're going to try to take a look at Coinbase. And Pronuncia Forte says, what indicators am I using? So I do have some things showing up on the charts here. I am using the moving averages here. You get the 200, 100, 50, and the 21 EMA is what I use for moving averages here. And I mean, that's all I got showing on the chart right now. I do have this parallel channel that I drew out as an idea. So like, Bitcoin was in this parallel channel or descending channel all throughout the week here. And then like last night on my Thursday night live stream that I did notice that Bitcoin was creeping up, and I was like, well, I am interested in taking a long because we're near the bottom of this channel. And I did make profit on that long, and I didn't take it up to like 68 or 69K, but I did take profit on my long this morning before we shot up. I mean, I probably could have stayed in the long. I didn't know we were going to shoot up to 69K, but I took profit because I saw that we were coming up on the this parallel channel, this descending channel here, this blue descending channel. So this is not really an indicator. It's just a chart, a drawing that I drew here. Showing me like where the levels were for this potential descending channel that we're in, but we punched right through the descending channel, and now we're above the moving averages, so we're looking pretty good here on Bitcoin, to be honest with you. But I don't know, we could just throw back and come right back down to like 68 or 67K. We can always digest Bitcoin later on the smaller time frames here, but I do have some requests to look at. So let me go ahead and take a look at the request. We'll take a look at Coinbase first, and then we'll take a look at Hyperliquid. So let's look at Coinbase for a potential short. I believe you would do that with put options, right? You would try to trade and take out put options against the Coinbase stock here. And I believe this is Coinbase, right? Let me just double check. I think I had the Coinbase here on my watch list here. Let me just see what it looks like here. Yeah, we're on Coinbase. Coinbase is currently trading at $164.32, up 16% today. So there was a move to be made. Bitcoin caught some bids, and so did Coinbase, the cryptocurrency exchange that's trading on the NASDAQ right now for their stock. Coinbase for a short. So you missed out on potentially shorting Coinbase, the stock here. The time to try to take a short or take a shot at a short was like back here when Coinbase was at $240, $250, and we lost this 21 EMA. You lost the 21 EMA, and it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, a few bad days here, a couple of bad weeks here for Coinbase going into the beginning of February here. And then you kind of almost had like a little bit of you got a lower low here, but this, I mean, could be a double bottom if it's within 1 to 3% here. So you had the bottom here, the absolute bottom here in February came in at $139.36 for Coinbase. and we had another low here at $145. I don't know if that's within 1 to 3%, so I don't know if we can call it a double bottom, but we'll just say this is a lower low. But like, was there bullish divergence that was showing up here? And we're gonna look for the bullish divergence here. And yeah, there's bullish divergence showing up here on Coinbase. So like, if we draw this out, we are making higher lows here on the RSI. However, we did make lower lows here on the price, okay? If these lines were to continue, they would actually intersect with each other, and that's the bullish divergence here. So this is actually pretty bullish here. I wouldn't be looking for a short. I would not be looking for a short. You also had on market cipher B, you had a green buy dot here, and you got money flow curving up. There might be money pouring into Coinbase and cryptocurrencies. Sad to say, for your short. I'm giving you the warnings. You can do whatever you want. This is not financial advice. But what I'm seeing on the charts here is that Coinbase is trying to climb up to higher prices. You got the selling pressure dying down here in the MACD indicator here. Have you got a MACD crossover yet? No, you don't have a MACD crossover, but if this blue line crosses the orange line to the upside, you'll get a MACD crossover to the upside, and you'll start seeing buying pressure showing up, and I don't know, your short probably will get blown out of the water, okay? I wouldn't be looking for a short on Coinbase right now, okay? I would actually try to wait until we get up to this white line, this 21 EMA, see how we handle ourselves here at $192. Yeah, that's right. I'm saying that Coinbase could probably climb up to $192 here before it gets rejected, and then this is where I would look for a short. I wouldn't be looking for a short right here because right now I already showed you the indicators are showing that Coinbase wants to pop up a little bit here. Okay, the stock wants to pop up a little bit, and we already got that pop today. We got to pop up at like 16% here. So I wouldn't be looking for a short. That's me. I'd be waiting for higher prices to short this thing. I would wait till at least $192, and we just don't know. Like, we could hit $192, and this thing could still climb up to higher prices here, and we could climb up back up to like maybe $240 all over again. Let me zoom out here. I'm going to pull up another indicator here that you guys might not be familiar with, and this is called the VRVP indicator here. This is an indicator off to the right that shows me the volume where people were buying and selling Coinbase at. And at the very minimum, people were buying and selling it at $223. That's your value area low. And then the majority of the people were buying this and selling this at $240. Coinbase could climb up. You don't have that much resistance here. I mean, there's something here at $196, which I already said 192 was an idea here for a short. But like, you could climb up to like 209 and then 223 before you actually get rejected. And I would just, I mean, if you're really dead set on trying to short Coinbase here, I would wait until $192 or $195, somewhere around that area, and then I would try to add more at 211 and maybe add more at 223, or you could just wait until it does get up to like 223 and then just start your short campaign here where you're going to short the stock here at $220 here. But I think Coinbase wants to jump up to higher prices here. I would not be interested in shorting it right now, okay? You're already undervalued here on Coinbase. And yeah, Coinbase could go to lower prices here. But, you know, with all the buying and selling that has happened the last couple of months here, Coinbase might actually report a good quarter. Coinbase might actually report good earnings. Their next earnings report, when is that coming out? Well, we had the last earnings report came out. Oh, it came out yesterday. Oh, their earnings report was actually bad. Oh, okay. I'll take that back. So they had a bad earnings report. Okay. But usually with all the buying and selling on the cryptocurrency exchanges, it does generate volume and generates fees. And Coinbase, you would think, would actually show a good quarter here. But apparently they didn't. The last good quarter that they had here was when they reported, I believe, the third quarter in October of 2025. And they actually had a pretty decent quarter here. Okay, let's see, how much of a difference was there? They made $1.8 billion in revenue in the third quarter, and then on the fourth quarter here, they still made $1.8 billion, so that's interesting. But something here with the earnings, maybe their expenses got a little bit too high on them. It's showing that their earnings per share was at negative $2.49 when they were expecting at least 99 cents. So that's interesting. I'm not sure what happened there with Coinbase. Maybe you can tell me what happened in the comments. You should know what happened if you're interested in shorting Coinbase. But yeah, Coinbase, for some reason, they had bad earnings for this quarter as far as like the earnings go, but their revenue was fine. They still made like a good amount of money. They made over $1.78 billion here in revenue, which is similar to what they did here in the third quarter here, which I believe is actually more than what they did in the second quarter. So they are growing their revenue. It's just something happened with their expenses. I don't know what happened with their expenses, but if they can get those expenses to not be a problem anymore, you'll see Coinbase jump right back up to higher prices. All right, Kayla Ross says Oli said 55K. Yeah, 50K is an idea where Bitcoin could possibly go later on this year, but it's going to take some time. As you can see, like right now, the price of Bitcoin jumped back up to almost like 69, 70K, because the bulls are interested in buying Bitcoin at 60K. They think buying Bitcoin at 60K and then selling it at the all-time high at 120K seems like a good idea to them. Yeah, I just highlighted the bullish divergence there. So there is bullish divergence here on Bitcoin. I would not try to short it just yet. Oli Rai says if Bitcoin takes a hit, so does Coinbase. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. If people aren't making money, they're not going to try to trade and invest in crypto. So that does hurt Coinbase in their earnings. Windward Shoe Repair says 69,420. Did Bitcoin just jump up while I was talking to you guys here? Let me see. Let's go into the 5-minute time frame. Because I am currently trying to short Bitcoin at 69K here. All right. I did enter a short on Bitcoin just to see if if we just roll over and go to lower prices here. I kind of want to capture whatever downward price action we get. So I actually am here on WEEX exchange. I am shorting Bitcoin, and I got in at $69,100 here with a 40x short on Bitcoin, and I'm up like 8% on that short right now. Okay, but we shall see. We shall see. Maybe I get stopped out right now. Oh, let me go back. My stop loss is at 69,500 here. So if we get up to 69,500, I give it to the bulls. The bulls are going to push us up to higher prices. So I don't want to get blown out of the water if they're going to do that to us here. But I basically put the stop loss above. We got up to like 69,430 here on Coinbase exchange. So I put the stop loss at 69,500. Really tight. If I'm wrong and we go up to higher prices, then I'm wrong. And I get stopped out. I got to turn on the heat, guys. I actually am kind of. It's cold here in Massachusetts. That's where I'm from. That's where I'm at. And I forgot to turn the thermostat on, so just give me one quick second to turn the heat up here. Okay, I got the heat back on. Okay. All right, so I don't have to be freezing while I'm over here talking to you guys. Lorraine says that's a bull flag. Yeah, I mean that's what the bulls are calling this right now. They're thinking that this is a bull flag here for Bitcoin. And let's measure this out. Let's if Laureen is right and we are in a bull flag and it plays out to the upside, how much higher could Bitcoin go? Let me get rid of some of the stuff here. I even get rid of the moving averages too. I don't really want to look at the moving averages right now, but Laureen thinks this is a potential bull flag here on Bitcoin, and I'm just going to quickly draw it out as best as I can here. And if this is a bull flag, we just measure from this impulse move up to the higher prices here. And if we continue going up to higher prices and we break out to the upside where Bitcoin gets about 69,400 and continues up to higher prices here, we would see this measured move, right? I just took this measured move, put it up top here, and it shows that we could hit 71,670, that blue number right there, if Bitcoin's going to continue being bullish here. So that's your bull flag target here. And all I did was, I just took the flagpole, right, on this bull flag, and I just used that as the measure move, and I put it to like where we could break out at 69,400, and it shows that we could get up to like 71,600 here. So we shall see. We shall see if Bitcoin actually does that or not. That would be the idea for bulls here, if we are in a bull flag. And if that's the case, well, maybe I should get into a long here, right? Maybe I should try to add a long here. We'll see, you know, if Bitcoin comes down a little bit lower here, but I don't know. Maybe I could try to long right now and put a stop loss below 68,600, maybe. 68,600. Is that what I could try for here? You want to see me do a long here, guys? I might actually do a long here on Bitcoin. I know we gotta look at Hyperliquid. That was a request here, but I'm interested in maybe taking a long here just in case we are gonna go nuts this weekend, and if Bitcoin's gonna show us some love. And you know, guys, historically, Bitcoin usually does pretty well around Valentine's Day every year. I've noticed that. I don't know what the deal is. I think it has something to do with the Chinese New Year is around this time, and they give Bitcoin as a gift to, like, you know, to whoever their family and friends are at. But yeah, I just know, like, every Valentine's Day has usually been a good day for Bitcoin. So maybe we should do the Valentine's Day play here and actually try to go long Bitcoin. So here we go. I'm gonna try to long Bitcoin at 68,850 bucks here. And let's see, I want to put like maybe $100 of margin into it. And we're gonna try to target 71,600 was the target, right? I'll make 160 bucks if that's the case. I'm doing a 40x long here, and I said the stop loss would be about 68,600. Keep it really tight. I only lose $13 if I'm wrong. Maybe I could do a little bit lower than that. Let me just double check what the candles look like here on WEEX exchange here. We did see 68,600, yeah. I can do 68,600, yeah. Yeah, we'll keep it at 68,600 for the stop loss here. All right, so what is it? Bitcoin currently at 68,840. Let's do it. I'm getting into a long here. Let's take a look at it as we place this order. It's a market order. It should go in right away. And there I am on a long on Bitcoin at 68,850. Stop losses at 68,600. Really tight, because I don't want to lose too much money if this thing is actually going to roll down the lower prices here. But you know, what is it? The take profit stop loss, we said that we were going to try to take profit at 71,600. So let me just break that then, put that in there one more time here. And 68,600. So I only lose $14 for being wrong, and I'll make $159 for being right. Maybe if we're able to get up to that price. All right, so I got that in there for an idea here. So, you know, all I'm doing is I'm trying to long Bitcoin here at 68,850 right here. And if I do the long position here, you'll see what the risk reward ratio is like. I kept the stop loss really tight here at 68,600. I'm only risking like 0.34%. But with 40x leverage, that's like, I mean, just multiply that by 40. But I think that was like 15%. And then I'm trying to take this long and see if I can take it up to like 71,600. And the risk reward ratio is like 11. That's pretty good if we're able to do that. And I'm risking 0.349 to try and get 4%. That's a pretty good risk reward ratio. Anyways, let me move on to taking a look at Hyperliquid, because we did have a guy that did request that. I did not forget about you. I was just interested in longing Bitcoin if this is going to be a bull flag here. So we gotta look at Hyper USD, Hyperliquid. We'll take a look at our Bitstamp, sure. Actually, I don't like it on Bitstamp. Coinbase maybe. It's got some better candles here, better price action here. All right, so we are looking at Hyperliquid, currently trading at $31.35, down. I'm sorry, not down, up 0.9% today. Only 0.9. On a day when Bitcoin's up 4%, this thing's only up You know what? I don't like this. This is not a good chart either. I gotta find another exchange that this one's been trading on. What's a good one? Binance? Is Binance good? Binance US? Yeah, I got more data now on Binance. I got data going all the way back to June. Okay, good. Alright, so here we are. We're looking at Hyper Liquid. Currently trading at $31.30 here on Binance Exchange. Up 0.8%. And, I mean, you could say that this is possibly a bull flag, right? Or a bull pennant. Let me see if I can draw this out. You know, we draw the trend lines here as best as I can. Come on, where's my trend line? So you kind of got like a pennant or maybe a symmetrical triangle formation here. And it's showing that, you know, maybe we might get a rejection around $32 here and come back down. If this is going to be staying in this pennant formation here or this symmetrical triangle, then you would expect maybe a couple of bad days here for Hyperliquid. Not sure why that's the case, unless Hyperliquid is just going to like prove that this doesn't matter and we could go up to higher prices here. And if we do go to high prices, I'm going to do a little bit of a Fibonacci here. See where we can go. If I measure from the swing high to swing low down here, we got a fib extension, the 1272 fib extension, saying that this thing could get up to like $43 here. But first we got to get up to some other levels here first, right? We got to get up to at least show that we can get above the golden pocket here at $32. And then the next level after that would be 3460, which is the, the 786 retracement at 3460. And then, sure enough, we gotta see if we can get back up to $30.39 here. I'm not sure if you're looking for a long or a short on Hyperliquid, but I would try to maybe entertain the idea of longing it because it looks like you're in a bull pennant here. But let's see what the momentum indicators are doing here. Do we have the momentum to go to higher prices here? On the MACD, yes, selling pressure starting to die off. Just a little bit. You see we had red candles here, but now they're turning into light pink. If you keep getting light pink, eventually you'll start getting green candles showing up again. And you'll get buying pressure pushing this thing up. So there's a possibility here that the lows might have already been placed in here on Hyperliquid. And then, let's see, looking at market cipher B, we got a green buy dot here that came in yesterday. However, what I don't like is money flow is still in the red, so I don't know about that, right? I want to see money flows. It better get back into the green, and it better start curving back up here. But we shall see. We shall see. Christian wants to take a look at Shiba Inu. I'll write down as a request here. And Lorene said we already broke out. What did we break out of, Lorene? Let's see. I gotta go back and look at the comments here. She said that's a bull flag. No, the something something, but tiny bull flag on the end there. I'm trying to read your comments here, Lorene. You saying it looks weak to you? And then what says, please, some insight on Pippin coin. All right, take a look at Pippin. That request did come in before Shiba Inu here, so I'll look at that before I look at Shiba Inu. Windward shoe repair says short it may be the way, not long. What are we talking about? What are we gonna try to short? Are we talking about Hyperliquid here? I think Hyperliquid has the possibility. It has the, it's showing that it might want to go up to higher prices here. I mean, some of these cryptocurrencies, they've already been beaten down. I mean, how much further down are we going to get beaten down? Like, Hyperliquid, it did get down to like, what, $20.55 towards the end of January here. And then we caught some bids here, and now we're just consolidating, bullishly consolidating here. Let me look at the moving averages. How does it look with the moving averages? Alright, so the moving averages could provide some resistance here around Hyperliquid. you got a 200-day moving average at $37.56, which I think, you know, we already rejected the 200-day moving average over here on February 3rd. We came up to that 200-day moving average and got rejected. So I think, you know, if we do climb back up, the 200-day moving average could reject us again here at $37.50. So just keep that in mind for Hyperliquid. I didn't really give you downside targets, but if this thing breaks down to the downside, you could get some support here at the 0.236 at $24.87. You can read that number there. Or you just might just do a round trip and come right back down to the lows here at $20.50 here, like we saw back here at the end of January. So those are your downside targets. This one right here, and then this one right over here. Shubham says, "Hello, sir. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to know that do you have the thumbnail design or video editing works? I don't. Yeah, you're gonna have to message me here on Twitter or go on the Discord to try to get a hold of me. I mean, I think I even got the Meet Damien email up on YouTube. You could probably email me, but I'm curious if you need to get a hold of me. There are various ways you can do that. But thank you for coming on to the live stream. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't done so already, guys. Same thing for my TikTok guys. All you gotta do is double tap the screen to send a like here. But there is a Meet Damien Twitter. You guys can message me here on Twitter, follow me here on Twitter. And then there's a Meet Damien Discord. Link is in the description to the video. And for my TikTok guys, you do have to go probably to my link tree here. Click on this link. It will take you to the link tree. And then there's a Meet Damien Discord server for you to join. You click on that link right there, and it will take you to the Meet Damien Discord server, where you'll see when I go live, and then you also see, like, you know, what trades we're getting into for today, and what's catching our interest. All right, so let's take a look at Pippin now, and then we'll take a look at Shiba Inu. I think I put Pippin as one of my watch list items here, because I was trading Pippin earlier this week myself. Alright, so we got Pippin currently trading at 58 cents, 58.5 cents. We're on the daily time frame. Pippin looks like it came up to 65 cents, and I've already measured this out, right? First, let me get rid of this. I'll get rid of this idea here. But Pippin, right, I measured from like 55 cents, which is, I think, where we got up to on Thursday here. And I measured that swing high to swing low down to like 15.5 cents. And it was showing me that there was a 1272 Fibonacci extension of 65 cents here for Pippin. And that's literally where we came up to for the highs for today. We came up to 65 cents. So, you know, some people might think this technical analysis, this charting is nonsense, but tell me why it actually came up to 65 cents. All right. And then it just stopped. That 1272 Fibonacci extension, that Fibonacci tool actually worked out. It actually worked like a charm here, showing us what the targets was. And whoever's trading Pippin, they probably decided to sell their Pippin at 65 cents because they knew that was an idea to try to, like, take some profit here. If Pippin was continuing to be going to higher prices here and continue to be in bullish, there is a 1618 that says that Pippin could get up to like 79 cents here. Does Pippin have that ability to do so here? Well, we're already up 14% right now. But let's look at the momentum here. Okay, we're gonna look at the momentum indicators on the daily time frame, and I don't see any reason why Pippin needs to stop going up to higher prices here, because your buying pressure candles are solid and strong. And yeah, I would probably expect Pippin to continue going up to higher prices, where we could probably see Pippin go up to like 79 cents. That 1618 I think is still a Fibonacci that we can use right now. I don't know if I want to make any adjustments to this. I mean, I guess I could. But if we come up to here now at 65 cents, that was the 1272 at 78 cents. And is a 1618 at 95 cents. But I think I'm going to continue this at 55 cents because we know 55 cents was an interesting area for a high here that we saw yesterday, and also it was like the same kind of like the same price here back in January 28th. So I think we're gonna keep this where it's at, right around here, like 55 cents. And yeah, I think, you know, Pippin could go up to 80 cents just the way it's looking. I would stay out of the way. Yeah, I would try to long it. I wouldn't try to short it. I think any kind of dips you get on the smaller time frames, like the 1 hour time frame or even the 15-minute time frame, any dips you get would just be a buying opportunity. So in this case, if Pippin was to drop down to this 21 EMA, which it has done, you know, the last couple of days here, it just uses it as support and bounces off. So if Pippin does go down to 53 cents, I would try to look for a long and see if this thing is going to continue going up to higher prices like it's been doing all throughout this week. A.Co. Tiller says Pippin has drained you. Why? Were you trying to short Pippin? Is that why it's draining you? Because if you were long in it, you probably would have made money. You know, staying in a long and not using too much leverage, you could have stayed in the long here and made a good amount of money with Pippin. There were some times to try to take a short, like when Pippin hit like 55 cents, right? Let's see, we hit 55 cents on Thursday, somewhere around there. And then that was the time to get in on a short. But, you know, Pippin, what did it do? It dropped down to like 43 cents. Yeah, 43 cents, which I think on the 15-minute time frame was a 200 moving average. So it dropped down to the 200 moving average on the 15-minute time frame. Caught some bids here. Caught some support. Bounced off. Then it finally launched up here. Okay. So I would be looking at the 50-minute time frame on Pippin. If you come down to the 200 moving average, that's a good time to take a long. And then if you're using the 1 hour time frame, yeah, I mean, you could trade the 1 hour time frame maybe, but you would have to wait for this thing to come down to the white line, and I just don't know if it's going to do that anytime soon here. I would actually stick to just trading the 15-minute. And if Pippin comes down to the 200 moving average at 51 cents right now, I would take a long, and I'll put the stop loss, you know, below the last higher low here on the 50-minute time frame. Or if you want to be really conservative, maybe this other higher low right here. I would put the stop loss maybe at, oh wow, 43 cents. Nah, that's a little bit too much, especially if you can use a good amount of leverage. Now I would just try to long at 51 cents. I put the stop loss below the last higher low at 49 cents, or this other low here at 48 cents, and if it rolls down and hits you, it hits you. You know, it's just an idea, right? That usually when you come down to 200 moving average, you get bounced off of it. But if you if you break through the 200 moving average here on the 15-minute time frame, then yeah, then you're probably gonna get stopped out. And if you keep your stop loss relatively tight, you're not gonna lose too much being wrong about long and Pippin here. You sent a DM, Shubham. And oh, there's a scammer in my Discord that's trying to send you a friend request. Yeah, guys, if I never send people friend requests on my Discord channel. So if you get a friend request from me, just ignore it. You can actually friend request me when you see me in the Discord, right? When you see me talking here on Discord, it should be just me, right? And I banned the word so no one else can use Meet Damien as their username here on Discord. So if you just click on me when I click on this, when I put up these links here, you know, to go live, when I go live, you just click on here and then you make the friend requests, and then I will add you as a friend, okay? But yeah, I don't go looking for friends on Discord. So if someone's trying to friend request you, that's a scammer probably. It's not me. Let me go ahead and wave hi to Shubham. Alright, I wave hi to you there, Shubham. Alright, let's see. I gotta catch up on the chat here. Yeah, some guy here that says view Bitcoin, bro. Why, what is Bitcoin doing anything magical and exciting here? Bitcoin is still at the same price as when I started the live stream, 68,800. Not really doing much. Okay, Bitcoin is just probably flagging out here, bullishly consolidating maybe. Okay, If we start breaking this trend line here to the upside, then maybe Bitcoin is going to drop down to lower prices here. But if you want to take a long on Bitcoin, it wouldn't really hurt to try to take a long. And where would you put your stop loss? So I put my stop loss at 68,600, which is right below this candle wick low here on the 15-minute time frame. So it's a really tight stop loss. But if I get stopped out, then that probably means Bitcoin wants to go down to lower prices here. But I'm also in a Bitcoin short, and I got in at 69,100 here. So if I can show you what I'm doing here on WEEX exchange. Yeah, I don't know, you guys could call me a confused trader here, but I am longing Bitcoin at 68,850, and I'm also shorting it at 69,107. Okay, right now the short's kind of playing out right now, the long not really. And if I out of my long, 68,600 is where I get stopped out. In my short, I get stopped out at 69,500. So that's the way I'm playing it, right? I got the stop loss here for the short up top, and then I got the stop loss right over here on the long towards the bottom here. And we're gonna figure out, are we going up or down here? Are we going up or down? Okay, all right. Lorraine's just telling me I gotta move my camera here on TikTok. AK Tilla, you said you shorted the top last night on Pippin there, and then it jumped to 65 cents. Well, yeah, I mean, if you move your stop loss to break even and not get too greedy, then you would have not lost any money. Especially if you were able to short the top and bring it down to like 42 cents. And you just move your stop loss and profit. I actually was shorting Pippin myself. I got in at like 53 cents and I took it down to like 45 cents. I didn't get too greedy. I took partial profits at 45 cents. It did go down to 43 cents. But one of the reasons why I did that, and I got to go back to Pippin now, right? But I was watching the 15-minute time frame on Pippin, right? I came in for a short at 53 cents, somewhere around here, and I was able to get down to the 200 moving average. I didn't get too greedy. I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a little bit of profit at 45 cents, and I moved my stop loss at break even. And then I saw Pippin started catching some bids here, and then we came down a little bit more, and I was like, all right, let me take a little bit more profit on my Pippin short. And then we just kept pushing up. We kept using the 200 moving average here on the 15-minute time frame. We kept using this as support. And I was like, all right, well, I think Pippin's not really going to go down, right? So I got out of the Pippin short. But if I decided to stay in on the Pippin short, I would have kept the stop loss at break even at like 53 cents. So when it did jump up like that, I want to get blown out of the water on my short. I would have just got stopped out at break even. I actually put the stop loss a little bit past break even because I want to be able to cover the fees, because you got to cover your trading fees as well. So I put the stop loss probably at like 54 cents. I'm sorry, not 52.5 cents, just to cover a little bit of a trading fees. All right, let's see what else we got. You guys have any other requests here? We can go back and take a look at Bitcoin again, but we've already looked at Bitcoin. But I guess we could see what the momentum is like on Bitcoin if we're actually going to climb up to higher prices here. Oh, we do have a request here. We got XRP for requests. All right, let's do that. We got to take a look at XRP. And if you guys are anxious to look at Bitcoin, just let me know. We can always go back and look at Bitcoin again, but I am doing requests as well. So just let me know if there's any other coins or stocks you want me to take a look at. I can talk about stocks. We did talk about Coinbase stock, but that's a cryptocurrency related stock. But hey, we can talk about Coinbase. We can talk about oil. We can talk about gold and silver. We can talk about anything you guys want to talk about that I can put on the charts here. But let's look at the XRP for my buddy here who made a request for it. XRP currently trading at $1.40, up 3.2%. And let me get into the 1 hour time frame here on XRP. XRP was doing, I believe, the same thing that Bitcoin was doing. It was in like a descending channel, yeah. We're in the descending channel that I plotted out here for XRP. And it looks like XRP is now getting to the top of this descending channel. And this is where you would expect some resistance. This is where you might want to entertain the idea of trying to short XRP if you're interested in taking XRP down to lower prices here. If you were to enter a short at like $1.40, you would probably put your stop loss above the highs for today. We saw XRP get as high as $1.42 here on Coinbase Exchange. And where would you take profit on your short if you're going to short XRP? Well, I would take profit, partial profit at the middle of this channel here at like $1.25. And then I would try to see if I could take full profit coming right back down to the bottom of the channel here at like $1.11, because that's where XRP was hanging out. That's where XRP got support at $1.11 here on February 5th. So, let's plan this out. If you're going to try to short XRP, and I don't even know if you're trying to short XRP. Maybe you are trying to long XRP. Maybe you're just a long-term investor. But we're going to play this out as if we were trying to day trade XRP. And we're seeing this, potential resistance with the descending channel and also coming up to the moving averages here. We said what? We're going to put the stop loss at the highs for today at $1.42, $1.43 maybe. I usually keep the stop loss relatively tight. And if you take this all the way down to $1.11 on your short here on XRP, you're risking 1.5% to try and get 20% to the downside without using any leverage. Your risk reward ratio is like 13. That's a really good trade to get into. If XRP does drop like a rock again on us, you can make a lot of money, even if you weren't using too much leverage here. But let's say you did try to do like 5x leverage. Okay, with 5x leverage, you could double your money if XRP does go down to $1.11. If you short it at $1.40, you take it down to $1.11. You just take this number here, that 20.59% here. You would take that number, just multiply it by 5x leverage. You would make 100% on your short. And for your risk, your stop loss being at $1.43, you just do 1.5 multiplied by 5x leverage, and you're only risking what, 7.5% to try and get 100%. I think it might be worth taking a shot here to try to short XRP, to be honest with you. But let me know what you're actually trying to do here with XRP. What says XRP is just doing whatever Bitcoin is? Yeah. So if Bitcoin is going to drop like a rock, and so is XRP, and it might even drop harder than Bitcoin. So just be careful with that. Tongue Trade, thank you for following me here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Guys, go ahead and follow me here on TikTok if you haven't done so already. On the top left screen, you'll see my profile picture with me in the red shirt with the pilot headset. Yes, I am a pilot. I can also fly airplanes. And yeah, go ahead and actually follow me, because there are some people trying to pretend to be me and they're trying to scam you guys. So the only way you can make sure you're not going to get scammed here on TikTok or any other platform is to actually follow me here on TikTok while you got me. You're listening to my voice, and then here I'll go ahead and flip the camera so you can actually see me. This is Damien, right? I'm Meet Damien, right? Or Damien, you just call me Damien. And yeah, go ahead and follow me if you haven't done so already. So you got the real Meet Damien, and not one of these scammers out here trying to pretend to be me. Alright, and once you do that, I mean, you'll be joining the rest of the followers here. I think I might have hit 6,500 here. Thank you, Tong, thank you, Greg, and thank you, 444, for following me here. But yeah, that's the Meet Damien TikTok right there, where you'll be joining like around 6,500 followers here who are following me right now. Let's go ahead and try to refresh that. Did we hit 6,000? Yeah, we did. Look at that, Lorraine. Check that out, Lorraine. We hit 6,502 followers. So I guess the next goal is to hit 7,000 followers. The way things are going, I'm getting like at least 100 followers every week. So maybe next month I'll have 7,000 followers here. Thank you, Michelle, for following me here too as well. Appreciate that. You are now listening and talking to the real Meet Damien, and you're now following the real Meet Damien. Okay. All right. Let's see. So my guy that wanted to talk about XRP, did you want to actually look at XRP for a long? Or, you know, check out what your spot bags could do if you were trying to sell XRP at higher prices here? I just got a request from Lorraine. She wants to look at XAUT. So we'll do that for Lorraine. But let me just try to create a bullish case here for XRP if there is one, and see what the, you know, where we could go to higher prices here for XRP. Well, what I like here on the 1 hour time frame for XRP is that you have gone above the moving averages here. Most of the moving averages are below you at like $1.39 and $1.37. Show us that you can stay above these moving averages, and then I think you're going to start creating a more bullish case to go to higher prices here for XRP. And where could XRP go to high prices? Let me just zoom out back to the daily time frame here. We've already known that XRP's gotten beaten the crap out of over the last couple of months, just like the rest of these cryptocurrencies. But if I turn on the VRVP indicator, it should give me some levels to look for to the upside. And this is this green and red indicator off to the right. It shows you where the buys and sells. The green is the buys, the red is the sells, or some people might call it magenta. But yeah, you get the green and the magenta, and the more green and magenta you see, the more likely that is a price level that you need to pay attention to. And to the upside right now, before I even get up to here, there is some upside resistance. There could be some resistance here at $1.59 for XRP, okay? Expect that to be a problem here. That's also where the 21 EMA, this white line that's crashing down on us, I'm expecting $1.59 to be a problem for XRP in the near future if we get up to that price. Okay, so I guess, you know, you could try to potentially game plan that out. How much of a percentage gain is that from where we are right now? It's about like a 13% move up, so XRP could go up another 13% before we get rejected here. But if we don't get rejected at $1.59, then there's this value area low at $1.77, which could be where we get rejected here. And you can see $1.77 was a previous candlewick low here on December 19th. So that's the next area where I think XRP could get rejected. And if we do that, then that's still like a 25% gain from where we are right now. So you might be able to eke out a 25% gain from where we are right now before XRP gets rejected. But then after that, there is another upside target here. We have the point of control. This blue line is your highest volume node, and for damn sure you would expect at least a reaction, maybe a rejection when we get up to $1.92, and that's about a 36% gain from where we are right now. So there is some money to be made if XRP is going to actually be bullish here. And I think the most you could probably get in the near term is like 36% here on XRP. All right, thank you, Lorraine, for letting people know about the Meet Damien Discord. If you can share that link, I appreciate that. Thank you, Lorraine. And we are going to look at XAUT, and then we got a request here for XMR. So I guess we're now doing the cryptos that begin with X, right? We're doing XRP, then XAUT, and then XMR. Matt Colburn says, facts, you had $1.54. Yeah, I'm seeing $1.59 right now as a potential problem for XRP based off this 21 EMA and also from the VRVP data here. There's a high volume node here. But yeah, $1.54, you know, if you want to front run it, you could you know, take profit at $1.54. Just know that there's a possibility that it could go to $1.59. You know, within the next, who knows, maybe even by tomorrow. Edible Zombie says, don't you dare short my XRP, baby. Alright, I won't do that. I'm not going to short it. I'm just shorting Bitcoin. Is that alright? I'll short Bitcoin and I'll leave XRP alone. Alright, we got to look at XAUT. And then we're going to look at XMR, which I believe is Monero. Alright, so we're looking at XAUT, which is a cryptocurrency that follows the price of gold. Currently, XAUT is at $5,017, up 2.48%. And let's see, is that where the price of gold is at? Right now, I got the gold futures on the COMEX trading at $5,042. So XAUT is actually trading at a discount to what gold is doing right now on, I believe the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is showing that gold should be $5,040 right now. So who knows, maybe you could buy XAUT at a discount. You can redeem those gold coins and bring them over to to the CME and see if you can sell it at a premium and try to do some arbitrage. I doubt you can do that within the time before the prices actually correct itself. I would expect, you know, XAUT to actually climb back up to you know, this $5,040 if it hasn't done so already. But I mean, these are exchanges, and not every exchange has the same exact price as the other ones do. But we'll get an XAUT. XAUT, looking pretty bullish. You're above the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day moving average. I'm going to get rid of the VRVP indicator here, but you're above the 200, 150, and you're above the 21 EMA, so you're bullish. That 21 EMA is sitting at 4,996. That's this white number right here that I'm looking at. But 4,996 is, it would have been acting as resistance if we were below it, but now, since we're above it, it should act as support for now. And I think just the way things are looking, right? The trend is your friend. Yeah, we took a big dip here. I don't know what this was all about. Maybe retail got blown out. Oh, I think I kind of know what that was all about. I heard that they increased the margin requirements for gold and silver contracts. So that caused some people to try to have to, they had to sell their gold and silver, and they wouldn't be able to buy as much because they needed more margin to get in those contracts. So I think that was the dip there. And this is like a little bit of conspiracy theory that they did that to try to put a lid on the price of gold. Who knows, maybe JP Morgan called it and say, hey, people are actually making money with gold and silver. They're not actually buying stocks like, you know, our stock right here. And they probably put a phone call in. And who knows, maybe JP Morgan was shorting the market, and they just said, hey, can you do us a favor? We're actually shorting gold right now and silver. Can you increase the margin requirements? Don't tell anybody, but increase the margin requirements so our shorts can play out. And I wouldn't put it past those guys there. That those guys, they've already done some crooked stuff in the past, so maybe that's what happened here. And yeah, gold or XAUT ended up getting knocked back down to the 50-day moving average, close enough to it. We didn't actually hit it, but this green line was at 43.59, and we came down to 44.29. Got front run a little bit here, and we're still making higher lows if you disregard all this craziness here. But we're still making, like, we're still in an uptrend. It's still an uptrend for XAUT until it's not. Now, I would worry when we actually get up to like the highs here, the all-time high at 5,608. That's where I would, you know, try to take profit. Don't get greedy on your longs and your gold positions here. And maybe we end up doing a double top. And if we do a double top, you know, it might look like something like this, where we come up and then we get rejected. And maybe by that point, the 21 EMA is curving up here a little bit, and we make another higher low. And then we try to go up to higher prices again. Maybe we get rejected at 5,608 again. And maybe we just do a bullish consolidation, like a bull flag here on XAUT. If I'm just game playing things out here. I don't know how this is going to play out. But this is just an idea here where we could possibly be making an ascending triangle or a bull flag on XAUT and then go up to higher prices again. And if we did go up to higher prices, I got to measure this out here. I'm going to have to do a Fibonacci now on this. There's my Fibonacci right there. We measure from like 5,607 down to the last swing low at 4,299. This is the swing low that I'm looking at. 4,286 roughly. Is that what I got? Yeah, that 4,286. Yeah. So this is showing here that you know, the Fibonacci extension to the upside for gold. You got a 1272 that says we could see XAUT gold go up to 5,966. Just a little bit shy of 6 grand, but I feel like if it gets that close, it might actually hit 6 grand. But you never know. The way the markets go, we might get a little bit, you know, a little bit shy when we get to 6 grand and not actually hit it. All right. And then we just kind of chicken out and come right back down to lower prices again. But they're still saying that, you know, the next target could be 5,960 for XAUT. And if we're able to push past 6 grand, then we got the 1618 at 6,424. Now I'm a little bit curious. Do we have the momentum to go up to higher prices? All right, looking at the MACD indicator here, which gives us an idea as what the momentum and trend might be. We see that selling pressure was a problem here during the beginning of February, and now it's dying off a little bit. And it's still dying off a little bit here. If it continues to die off, then you're going to see buying pressure. You're going to see these green candles start showing up, and that's going to push the price up to like probably 5,500 or 6K. So yeah, maybe the gold run in the gold rally isn't over yet. And then here on Market Cipher B indicator, we got a green buy dot that showed up here today, saying that you should be buying gold in XAUT right now, today. Right now, this just shows you the ebbs and flows here, because yesterday I was telling you to sell gold. So you know what's up with that. I kind of pay attention to these green and red dots here, but what I really pay attention to when I'm on this indicator is I'm looking at the money flow, and I want to see that money flow is increasing and going up, which, you know, you can see this, right? We did have money flow in negative, and then it curved up, and now it's increasing. And you know, if it continues to increase here, you'll see gold in XAUT go up to higher prices, just like you saw back here, right? Was the beginning of January, where you saw, you know, yeah, money flow was in the negative here, and then it started increasing, and then it kept increasing and increasing, and then it stayed pretty green for a while. And then when it started turning down towards the end of January here, this was your signal to get out, right? The money flow was coming down. You also got a red sell dot here, and this red sell dot was right above the overbought horizontal bars here, which is kind of like an RSI indicator. But this was telling you to get out of XAUT on January 26th. Had you listened to that, you would have avoided, you know, this little mess here, right? Where we, you know, on January 28th, you know, you had that red sell dot, and you would have avoided this mess here. Okay, so that's why I pay attention to this stuff here. Like, you wouldn't have got the high, you wouldn't have gotten the exact high, but it was trying to tell you, like, right here on January 26th to get out at, like, you would have got out at like $5,000. Yeah, granted, there was like another couple of days where we kept going up a little bit here. But yeah, that was your warning to get out. And you would have been alright. You would have been alright. You would have, you know, got out, and then maybe you would have been able to buy back in again at the lower price, than what you would have sold it. You would have been able to probably sell gold at 5,000 and buy it at 4,400 or 4,500. So I do like using these Market Cipher B indicators here to figure out, you know, when's a good time to get in and get out. And right now, I think it's telling you to get in the gold. That we're not done going up yet. Like, we're still gonna go up here on gold. Christian's waiting on Shiba Inu on TikTok. All right, sorry about that, Christian. I thought we did take a look at Shiba Inu. Did I skip over it? I think I did. Yeah, we gotta look at Shiba Inu. Sorry about that. So we'll go look at Shiba Inu, and then we'll take a look at XMR after that. Thank you, Lorraine, for reminding me about that. Somewhere in the process, I took another request, and then I totally forgot. Sorry about that. All right, so looking at Shiba Inu, currently trading at 6,378 is what I'm going to call that number there, up 5%. Shiba Inu is very bearish, the opposite of gold, okay? Because you're below the 200-day, the 100, the 50-day, and you're also below the 21 EMA. You got a lot of work to do here for me to even consider you to be bullish here on Shiba Inu, okay? But, you know, you could make a lot of money while putting in the work to show you that, you know, it could be bullish again. But in order for me to be bullish on Shiba Inu, you got to get above this red line here, the 200-day, sitting at 9,978. You got to do that, all right, at the very least. Or else, you know, if you don't, then you're just going to get rejected. And right now, you know, the problem for Shiba Inu is trying to get above the 21 EMA, this white line, and also trying to get above the 50-day moving average. He kind of had something good going on here in the beginning of January. That was like when, I guess, I don't know, Happy New Year, everybody decided to buy crypto. Or, you know, the big institutions decided to buy crypto in the beginning of January. Probably because they saw, you know, crypto take a beating during the fourth quarter. And they got to rebalance their portfolio. And they probably saw, you know, technology stocks were high and crypto was down. So they sold their technology stocks and they decided to buy the Bitcoin ETF. I think that's what happened in the beginning of January. And that's what caused, you know, crypto to go up. And it caused Shiba Inu to go up here. And what ended up happening is, yeah, you got past the 21 EMA, you got past the 50, and you were kind of threatening to go up to this 100-day moving average, but you didn't. You didn't. And then you came back down. You came back up to the 50, this green line here. You back tested it as resistance, and then that was it. That was like, all right, it's not good enough for Shiba Inu, and you just kept bleeding out to lower prices here on Shiba Inu. Now, let's see, Shiba Inu did bottom out here on February 6th. And I think we're trying to make our way back up to the 21 EMA again. This 21 EMA is sitting at 67.48. That's where I would try to take a little profit on Shiba Inu if you got some. Or maybe de-risk and take a little bit of your spot bags off the table here. Because we just don't know what's going to happen. We could get rejected off the 21 EMA. Like we've seen it get rejected off the 21 EMA. All throughout like October, November, December. The 21 EMA has been a problem here. It wasn't a problem in January because you got above it. But, you know, we gotta be careful here. Like 21 EMA could push us back down again. So I would take profit at 6,700 here on Shiba Inu. Okay? And then if Shiba Inu pushes past that level, take some more profit, right? You don't have to sell everything at 6,700. Maybe you sell a little bit here, and then sell a little bit more at this green line here at 8,000. That's your 50-day moving average. We know the 50-day moving average has been a problem, right? Because it was a problem here in January. And last time we've actually been before that, you know, at the 50-day moving average is like back here in October. So getting up to that 50-day moving average, that green line, is going to be a lot of work. There's got to be a lot of work to be done. You could make some money. Let's see, if we were to go back up to the 50-day moving average, you'll be up 26%. Come on, man. You're going to take whatever money you got in Shiba Inu, and you're going to be up 26%. You should take some profit at that point. Okay? And if you get rejected here, and you come down to the white line, you could try to buy back in again. Or if you go below the white line, you can try to buy back in again. But I would take some profit, especially if you get up to that 50-day moving average. I would target 8,000 right now on Shiba Inu to the upside. Hey, Bruno says, you told me that the big exchanges are about to collapse. Maybe. You know, you could, if that happens, that's going to shake the confidence out of a lot of people. If we get another cryptocurrency, crypto exchange going bankrupt like FTX, that's going to be a nail in the coffin. That's going to send, you know, Bitcoin probably down to like 50K or lower, in my opinion. Yeah. And we've seen like the earnings report for Coinbase early in this live stream. Coinbase reported bad earnings. I'm not sure why. Their revenue was actually just as good as it was in the third quarter. But they're apparently Coinbase lost money last quarter. So if Coinbase lost money and they're one of the biggest exchanges, then that kind of gives you an idea. Like these other cryptocurrency exchanges, they're struggling right now. And I know some of these cryptocurrency exchanges, they're trying their hardest and darndest to try and get you guys to sign up and actually trade on their exchanges here. So they do got some deals here, and I am affiliated with MEXC, and I'm affiliated with WEEX. And if you guys want to take advantage of the bonuses that they got there, they do have bonuses exclusive to my community here. For my TikTok guys, you go over to this link, click on the Meet Damien link tree here, and it will take you to obviously my link tree here. Let me go ahead and refresh this. Where's my picture? There I am. Okay. But we do have a link here to start trading on WEEX, and a link here to start trading on MEXC here. And I do like WEEX because they're easy to get started with. You don't need a VPN. All you need is an email or a phone number to get started with them. They don't do KYC. MEXC doesn't really do KYC, but if you're in America or Canada, it's really hard to do business with them unless you're using a VPN. So just keep that in mind. I feel like for most people in America, you can easily get started with WEEX Exchange, and if you do, you click on this link. You should see this link here for the Meet Damien community. You can join Meet Damien on WEEX, and if you deposit $100 on the exchange right now, they'll give you $50 back in bonus money here. But they also got some more bonuses here too. There's that 1,000 bonus for a $100,000 prize pool here for 40 people. They're still doing a Christmas bonus here. And then some other bonuses here, if I could show you. Well, maybe they got rid of the. So they did have a. Oh yeah, there we go. The new user bonus here. Unlock $30,000 in bonuses for if you join WEEX here. All right. They're not gonna give you $30,000, but what they'll do is, you know, depending upon how much money you put on the exchange and how long you keep it there, they will give you like maybe like a $5,000 bonus. If you put like $5,000 on, I have to click on. I could click on this to see what the bonuses look like. It's just that I've already went through the bonuses, so some of these bonuses have disappeared. But let me just click on this right now, see what it shows here. But yeah, okay, yeah. So this one's just telling me that they'll give me right now. They'll give me like $1,000. Bonus here if I can get a futures trading volume up to like $300 million. So I gotta still do a lot of trading to actually claim that, but what they'll do is they'll probably give me like $1,000 of margin to trade with, okay? And with that margin, you know, I could do like maybe like a 20x leverage long or 20x leverage short on Bitcoin or Ethereum. And it's just like basically like a free trade. So they're gonna give you like money to do a free trade on them. And if you blow through the margin, then you don't, you know, it's whatever. It's you lose the trade, right? But if you actually make money on the trade, then you get to keep the profits. You don't get to keep the $1,000, but you get to keep the profits from whatever trade you make here, you know, with WEEX. So that's WEEX right there. And then there's also MEXC. If you guys click on the link for MEXC, you know, it should show you this, and they are doing like a bonus here up to like $10,000 for MEXC. Okay, if you use my referral code there, it says MEXC-3IDOF. That would give me the credit for referring you guys. Appreciate that if you would actually make sure that you got the referral code in there. Okay, and then yeah, you'll be able to claim up to $10,000 here with MEXC. So those are the exchanges that I know and trust that have been around. And I did have somebody say something about WEEX. They were wondering if they have like reserves or anything like that. Let me go back to MEXC here. I mean, I'm not MEXC. Let me go back to WEEX here. And if I click on WEEX here, for those of you who are concerned about these exchanges going under, well, there you go. WEEX actually has $0 trading fees for gold and silver. So if you're interested in trading silver, WEEX is letting you do it for free on their exchange right now. But the other reason why I like WEEX here is because if I click on let's see, let me get rid of this stuff here. Their protection fund, right? They have a protection fund. So if I click on this, it says your security, our priority. Okay, they have 1,000 Bitcoin. Okay, which I think, you know, 1,000 Bitcoin. I can't do the math off the top of my head, but I think that's like at least, if Bitcoin's at like $70,000, that's like $70 million. So they have like $70 million to protect themselves. If something happens to the exchange, if something happens, they should be able to stay afloat here and get back, you know, get back to business again and get back up and running again. So they do have a protection fund here, okay, which you can read about. You can read more about that in the FAQ here for the protection fund. But they do have a backup plan in case something bad happens here. All right, let's see. Hey, Bruno says, people who have cash will become rich, others will become poor. Crash is coming and cash is king. Yeah, it's I have cash myself, and I'm willing to take advantage of whatever discounts we get on crypto here. Let's take a look at XMR. That's the next request here. And there's not that many exchanges that trade XMR. Monero. but it looks like it is trading here on Kraken exchange. We got XMR currently trading at $352, up 4.9% today. And while I'm looking at this, I just want to keep my eyes. Wow, Bitcoin is still trading at the same price as what it was when I first started the live stream about an hour and a half ago. Okay, Bitcoin just doing nothing here. That's actually good for the altcoins. The altcoins can actually continue running while Bitcoin is doing nothing here. As long as Bitcoin doesn't drop, these altcoins should be able to do their own thing and try to climb up to higher prices. Let me go ahead and get rid of this that Fibonacci there. So Monero, I mean, Monero was like the talk of the town back in the middle of January. This thing was trading at $799, and now you're at a 50% discount, or here you got a haircut here on Monero. Monero actually it broke through the 200-day moving average, this red line. That's a big problem to do that. It got very bearish here on last Thursday. What was it February 5th here? Monero dropped all the way down to 290, and then on Friday it dropped down to like 276. Oh Jesus! But Monero is trying to climb back up to this 200-day moving average. I'm a little bit worried that it's climbing up and it's going to get rejected. Like we're kind of back testing the 200-day moving average, this red line at 363. Today we got as high as 364. So I'm a bit worried that we're going to get rejected here off the 200-day moving average and go to low prices. Just keep that in mind. But if we don't get rejected, Monero continues climbing up to higher prices here. I mean, there are some other moving averages above us that could provide resistance. You got the 100-day and the 21 sitting at 393, and then you got the 50-day sitting at 431. That could be, you know, targets to the upside if you're long in Monero. Take some profit here at the 100-day. Take partial profit and take more profit when you get up to the 50-day at 431. Those are your upside targets, I think, for now for Monero. But let me go ahead and pull the VRVP indicator, see what that has to say here for levels to look for. To the upside, you do got some volume here at 372, and then 401 is where its point of control is at, that blue line. The solid blue line, this dark blue line here. Sitting at like, yeah, 404. So I think, yeah, it makes sense. Like when Monero gets up to like $400, that's like a psychological number for most people. They'll be like, all right, I'm going to sell my Monero at $400 and call it a day here. And then look, you got a little bit of confluence here with the VRVP high volume node here. And the 50-day moving average at 431. So I think 400 and 430 should be your upside targets for Monero right now. And then downside targets, just don't go lower than 276 like you did last Friday, or it could get really bad there for Monero. Let's see, what is the next level to look for below 270? I think like somewhere around here at 218. You got some sideways trading action here back in the beginning of 2025 at 218, 220. Yeah, so don't lose 270 or else I think you could come down to like 220 on Monero. Hey, Bruno says 99% of altcoins will never get back to your entry prices. Oh man, hey, Bruno's really bearish here. He's like one of the big bad bears here. He's like a Kodiak, or maybe a grizzly over here. We got a Bruno, the bear, the big bad bear over here. Notification prank says, will Ethereum reach $4,000 this year? All right, well, we're gonna have to take a look at Ethereum as one of your requests here. Ernesto, what did you say here? Something about MEXC. And then Chill Will says, get ready for the bank crash. Wow, there's a lot of bearish people here. A lot of you guys are talking about like the banks are crashing, the cryptocurrency exchanges are crashing, or about the you guys are very, very bearish here. Hey, whatever, you know, that's if the bears are here, then you know that's fine. At least somebody showed up to the live stream. But that's okay. Don't get too bearish though. There will be dead cat bounces. There will be relief rallies. Just keep that in mind. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Let's see if is Ethereum going to get a relief rally. We see Ethereum currently trading at $2,050 here. I got the daily time frame here. I do have levels that I have been looking at. You wanted to know, is Ethereum going to go to 4K? Well, this is where Ethereum's at right now at 2050. 4K is like right up here. It's got a lot of work to do. A lot of work. As I start to zoom in here, first, you got some high volume node here at 2300 that could act as resistance, and that's also where that 21 EMA could push you back down. So I think the 21 problem here at 2300 bucks here for Ethereum. If you can get past that level, then there is another level here. You got the some high volume nodes here at like 27 and 2800 bucks. And then, of course, you got psychological level here at $3,000, and that's also where this point of control is hanging out at. So there's some levels that Ethereum has to get past. First, you got to get past $2,300. Then you got to get past 27, 28. Then you got to get past 3 grand. You start doing that, and I think people get more excited about Ethereum. But then you got some other moving averages to worry about here. You got the 200-day moving average at 3,500. That's going to be a problem initially until it's no longer a problem. I think people would probably take profit at 3,500. If you're waiting for 4 grand, why not take profit at 3,500? That's like close enough, right? And this 200-day moving average initially, you know, a lot of traders are looking at this and they're gonna take some profit at 3,500. So why don't you come join them and do that at 3,500? I don't know why you're waiting for 4 grand. Maybe you got in at 4 grand, okay? But like I said, as I zoom out here, there's that Ethereum has to get past first. $2,300, $2,800, 3 grand psychological, then $3,500 before you can even talk about 4 grand. Let's see what Sus says. Best trading advice. What is going on here? Why does no one do this to me? All right. Best trading advice for Friday the 13th. Pick a coin, enter a short, stop loss 500% margin. No take profit, enjoy. Oh, you're being funny now. You're being funny. That's not how I trade. I always put in a stop loss at the very least, and I do put a take profit because you got to figure out where you're gonna take profit. Like, you know, it's just, you don't want to make it a guessing game. It is kind of like a guessing game, but you don't want to make it completely a guessing game. Hey, Bruno says the entire crypto market is about to hard dump. Well, why do you say that? We would have to look at total, right? Let's look at the total market cap here. See if you might be right about that. Total market cap for cryptocurrency sitting at $2.3 trillion. Up $78 billion today, up 3.49%. It looks like total market cap has already taken a beating. I think we might be due back for at least a pullback, not a pullback, but like a mean reversion back to the 21 EMA at the very least. That's sitting at $2.5 trillion. We could add another couple $100 billion here before we get rejected off this 21 EMA. Right, we came down hard and fast last Friday, and then, you know, got the bounce up here. But, you know, if we start seeing more money going into crypto, you'll see us at least get up to like $2.5 billion here, and then maybe we get rejected. Maybe bad news comes out later on this next week. Maybe bad news is, you know, I'm always worried about the weekends, especially that we got the weekend going on starting, you know, tomorrow. I'm worried that there might be, you know, conflict with the United States and Iran sometime later on this weekend. They usually like to do those attacks during the weekend. Like, when did they go after Maduro in Venezuela? They did that, I think, on a Saturday, right? And then when did they attack Iran for the first time? Like last year. That was on a Sunday, if I can remember correctly, on Sunday, June 22nd, I believe. So I'm really worried that they're going to do something during the weekend, and that could be the bad news that, you know, causes the markets to drop. So maybe you might be right. You might be right. And then if we get like a bank failure or something, you know, next week or something during, you know, Monday through Friday, yeah, maybe that could cause us to go down. But right now, I think a lot of the bearish price action has already been priced in right now, and we might be due back for a relief rally in a mean reversion, right? And that's okay, because if you're still bearish and you're shorting the market, you can wait for, you know, prices to go up a little bit higher and then enter your short, right? So maybe we have to wait until we get up to the $2.5 trillion here on total market cap, and then we can start looking for shorts again on our cryptocurrencies here. And I just lost the music, but I was gonna plan on ending the live stream soon here anyway. So let me go ahead and just press the replay button here. Hey, where's my music? Did my music start up? No, there we go. Okay. We got a guy here asking about how's the XRP chart looking. We actually looked at XRP, but I'll give you a summary analysis of the price targets for XRP. How about that? So XRP has been in this descending channel. If it continues going into this descending channel, this might be the top that we see for XRP, and then lower prices, you know, we could see $1.11 all over again, maybe later on. Not today or tomorrow, but maybe, you know, a week or two or something, we could probably see XRP at $1.11 again. If XRP is actually going to be bullish, then, you know, we're going to see if XRP can get past this 21 EMA at $1.59. If it can get past that, then, you know, all the levels to look for is like $1.96 here, which is your 50-day moving average. We actually made it to the 50-day moving average here in January, but then we weren't able to stay above it before we lost it. Okay, so I think if we actually do climb up to the 50-day moving average at $1.96, that could be a problem. Until it's no longer a problem. If it's no longer a problem, then we'll see if XRP can climb up to the 200-day, sitting at $2.40 right now. Those are your upside targets for XRP. 444 says, can we look at Bitcoin again? I will towards the end of the live stream, so if you want to just hold on for a second there. And then Usman says he wants to take a look at Solana. So we'll look at Solana first, and then I'll probably look at Bitcoin, and then that's going to be it for this live stream here, guys. Yeah, that's going to be it for now. But I appreciate the fact that we got 42, 43 people here on TikTok looking at the live stream. We got 6,200 likes here. Let's see if we can double tap that screen, guys. If you double tap your screen on your phone here on TikTok, we can get those likes up. Let's see if we get 7,000 likes. I think we can easily do that if you just double tap your screen there. Appreciate that, guys. And then my YouTube guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Alright, so we gotta take a look at the Solana now. Solana currently trading at $84.56. And for my guy that want to look at Bitcoin, I'll just leave Bitcoin up there in the corner there. You can still see the price of Bitcoin right now, $68,777. But anyways, we're looking at Solana right now, and Solana took a beating just like a lot of other cryptocurrencies towards the end of January and going into beginning of February here. And I think I was like trying to plot out a potential like another bear flag here for Solana, and we started breaking down this potential bear flag. But now we're coming back up to it. So we're actually back testing a little bit of an uptrend that I kind of plotted here for Solana. Let me see. What does this look like on the 4-hour time frame? Does it look a little bit better than that? Yeah, okay. So I plotted like right here in the 4-hour candle here to up here. And we broke below that, but now we're coming back up to this uptrend. I think if we come up to this uptrend some more, we can probably see sliding up to like $86, and then we might roll over and come down to low prices. But if we don't roll over and come down to low prices here, then, you know, what are we going to look for? Let me get back into the daily time frame here. Solana could do a mean reversion back up to the 21 EMA sitting at $100. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of people who are buying Solana right now would like to take a little bit of a partial profit at $100. It's like a psychological number. And maybe the short sellers want to also take a shot at shorting Solana at $100. So I'm expecting resistance at $100 here for Solana. Then if we're able to push past $100, then we'll see if we can get up to this 50-day moving average at $128. That's the next target to the upside for Solana. Solana has never been able to get back up to that 50-day moving average. Like we almost did it here in January, but we didn't. We came up to it, but we didn't. That green line, that 50-day moving average, we lost it here in October, and we've never been able to get back up to it again. So I think that green line is going to be a problem at 120. We might not even get up to 120. We might go up to like 120 or 125, and then just not even get up to that green line there. So take that for what it is, okay? But if we get past that green line, then things get a little bit more interesting with Solana. And then maybe we can try to see if Solana is going to get above the 200-day moving average, which is sitting at $164. That red line right there is at $164. That's an area where I would think a lot of Solana investors and traders would try to take profit, because if Solana goes up to $164, look at the price right now. It's at $84. If Solana goes up to $160, you're gonna double your money if we do get up there. So I think people are gonna try to take profit on their Solana at $160 here. They're gonna try to de-risk out of their Solana. If they're not on profit, they're gonna try to take some bags off the table here at $160, which is a lot better than trying to sell your Solana at $80. So I don't even know if we're gonna get up there. We might not even get there. We might not even get up to this green line here before we roll over and have to retest what, $74. Well, we came down to 67 here last Friday. I don't know, man. We might have to retest 67 for Solana here, if we're not able to push past these moving averages here. But I see we're going crazy on the likes here. We got up to like 9,500 likes, 400 more likes, and we'll get up to 10,000. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button. Appreciate that. It's free to do. It shows your appreciation for my analysis here on these stocks and crypto. I appreciate you guys doing that for me here. Yeah, same thing for my YouTube guys. Appreciate you guys as well. Even though there's not that many of you on the live stream, that's fine. We got more likes than we got people watching. That's got to count for something here on YouTube, right? But yeah, if you guys are new to the Meet Damien live streams, Meet Damien community, and you want to see me show up on your feeds here again, then go ahead and follow me here on TikTok and YouTube. Top left of the screen, if you click on my profile picture with me in the red shirt with the pilot headset and the airplane, you go ahead and click on that, and then you should be able to follow me here, and you come join the other followers here, the 6,500 followers here that I have on TikTok. And for those who are interested in learning more about cryptocurrencies, I do have other videos here about cryptocurrencies and stocks. But if you're new to trading, I do have this video that's pinned to the top of my channel, and this is this video right here. You'll see me, it has like 848 likes here. I teach you guys how to set up the charts, how to set up the moving averages, how to set up the MACD and the RSI indicator here, and how I trade with it. And then for those of you guys who are like, Damon, what is that VRVP indicator here, right? That indicator off to the right with the high volume nose. That's this VRVP indicator video that I got. It's got over 2,200 views here, because there's a lot of traders out there who've been trading for a while, and they don't even know what the VRVP indicator is about, and they see that it works, and the experienced traders are also interested in watching that video there too. And then for those who are learning about trading and want to know more about the Fibonacci and how to trade with it, I have a Fibonacci video there. All three of these videos are pinned to the top of my my TikTok here. All right, so you go ahead and check those out. And then also you can check out some of the other videos. Recently I put up some monster truck videos. I went to go see monster trucks with my nephew, and I was like, sure, why not? Let me just add this content in there. And then, yeah, I also got videos here about Bitcoin, a video here about gold, PayPal, the stock, IWM, which is, I believe, the Russell 2000 exchange. So I do stocks as well. There's your Ethereum and silver videos. But some of these are old. I gotta post up some new content here. But yeah, I will try to put up some more new content when I get a chance here. Maybe I'll post up a couple of new videos here on for the weekend here. Now let's finish up on Bitcoin, and then I'll give you my closing thoughts as to, like, you know, what where I think Bitcoin might go next. All right, so we're now looking at the price of Bitcoins trading at 68,840, still up 3.9% today. We saw Bitcoin top out at 69,400, and let me just zoom in to the 1 hour chart here. And this is what we've seen. You know, obviously Bitcoin had a good morning here, climbed up to higher prices. You topped out at 69,400, and we're just bullshit consolidating above the 1 hour 200 moving average here. That's sitting at 68,300. I think if we're gonna see Bitcoin fall down low prices, we should get support at 68,300. If not, then yeah, we're probably gonna drop down to like 67K all over again. All right, but do we have the momentum to go up to higher prices, or is the momentum falling off here? Let's look at the momentum indicators. Look at the MACD first. The MACD is showing that buying pressure is dying down. I kind of expected that. That's why I'm in a Bitcoin short right now at 69,100 is where I got in at. And if the buying pressure continues dying down here on Bitcoin, then you will see lower prices later on tonight. Right now we're fighting. The bulls are putting up their fight to keep Bitcoin at, you know, at least near 69K, but the trend right now is the price wants to go down, and we might see the prices go down later on tonight. That's what I'm seeing here on the 1 hour time frame. Now let me see. I'm gonna go into the 15-minute time frame. See if is anything different here on the 15-minute time frame. All right, so we definitely have selling pressure that showed up here at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and the selling pressure was pretty strong up until 4 p.m. Eastern time here, and then selling pressure kind of dying down a little bit here on the 15-minute time frame. So maybe this is the tricky part about Bitcoin. I feel like later on tonight we'll see lower prices for Bitcoin. However, what I'm seeing here on the 15-minute time frame with the MACD, I'm seeing that maybe Bitcoin might try to go up to like 69K all over again. Try to scare the shorts maybe. Maybe try to grab their stop losses before we dump down the low prices here on Bitcoin. So I think Bitcoin might try to go a little bit higher if you're still in a long and trying to maximize your profits here. You might see 69K all over again in the next hour or two. And then here on the market side for B, yeah, the money flows in the negative, but it's curving up here, so we might see higher prices in the next hour or two here for Bitcoin. And that'll be like right before the candle wick closes. Right before the candle closes on the daily time frame here. I think Bitcoin, yeah, the day Friday ends at like an hour and 12 minutes from now. So you might see them try to push it up to like 69, just to like really scare the crap out of the shorts. I got into a short on Bitcoin. I'll show you here on WEEX exchange. I got into a Bitcoin short at 69,100. I'm still up on that short. I'm probably gonna move the stop loss. No, I'll leave it. I'll leave the stop loss. If I get stopped out, I'll lose $34 on that short. I'll be down 22% with my 40x short, leverage short there. However, I am in the long, so it won't be too bad if I get stopped out on that short. And I got in on the long on Bitcoin at 68,850, and we're only like $9 below that, $10 below that. And I got my stop loss at 68,600, really tight. I'll lose about $14 with my 40x long on Bitcoin at that level there, and I'm targeting 71,600, right? And I think what we did for the target on the Bitcoin long is that we just looked at this as like bull flag here. This is a potential bull flag here on Bitcoin, and if I measure what we've already done here on the uptrend, and I take this little flagpole, right? This is the flag, and this is the flagpole here. You take the flagpole, which is your measured move. You move it to like where Bitcoin could break out at like 69,400, and it's showing that we could get up to like $71,600 here on Bitcoin if we're gonna be bullish. If we're gonna be bullish, and I still think if you want to take a crack at long in Bitcoin, it actually kind of makes sense because we're at the bottom of this bull flag here. We're still making an uptrend here, ever so slightly. And you can long Bitcoin right now at 68,800. Put your stop loss. I put mine at 68,600, right below this 50-minute candle here, candle wick low. Maybe you might want to make it a looser stop loss and maybe put the stop loss below this candle wick low here at 68,300. But what I did was 68,600 is my stop loss. I'm only risking 0.34% here, and we could get a 4% move up in price. Now with my 40x leverage, you do 40 times 4, that's about 160% gain. And I can't really do the math off the top of my head, but with a 40x long, the stop loss, it's going to be a little bit less than 40%. I think it was like 30% is where my stop loss is at. Let me take a look at one more time here. Wait, is that the long? Really? Well, yeah, it's going to be a little bit different because I got in at a different price than where it's currently trading at. But yeah, I'm only going to lose 14% on my long with Bitcoin if Bitcoin gets stopped out, if my long gets stopped out. Right now, kind of creeping up a little bit here. We're staying alive and staying above this uptrend here. Let's see what it looks like on the 5-minute. Yeah, we're still slowly creeping. And look at this, the 50 moving average. We're getting a little bit of support off the 5-minute 50 simple moving average here. This green line might push us up to higher prices here. Oh man. Does that mean I need to close out my short? That would suck. But I could close out the short and take some money. I could probably close out the short and see if we do go up to like 69,300. Maybe re-enter at a higher price than what I shorted at. I shorted at 69,100, so maybe I could get a better entry on the short. I don't know. This could also just be the high watermark here, and we just roll over right down to low prices here. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. And I think it's always good to like game plan what your loss is gonna be. So if I do lose on the long, I'm only gonna lose $14. And if I lose out on the short, I'm gonna lose $34. I think I got a little bit more margin on that short. Yeah, 150 bucks here versus like 100 on the long. And then my short, the stop loss is a little bit further away from the entry price. But we shall see. We shall see. I think Bitcoin could creep up a little bit higher in the next hour or two. Get people excited that we're going to break past 69K on our way to 70K. And then I think we might make another lower high. I don't know. I'm just game planning things out here. But we could make another lower high. Maybe at like 69,200. And then we dump down to like 68 or 67K here. And if we don't dump down, then maybe we cash bids. But I just don't know how are we going to cash those bids on Bitcoin, right? Who's buying Bitcoin this weekend? Are you buying Bitcoin this weekend? The Bitcoin ETFs, they closed up shop at 4 p.m. on a Friday. So they're not going to be buying Bitcoin. So who's going to be buying Bitcoin this weekend to push the price up? I think Bitcoin is probably... Here's the frustrating thing. Bitcoin could probably just go sideways all throughout Saturday. All throughout tonight and Saturday and just frustrate the crap out of everybody before we make a big move up or down. So... I might be in that long and short going into like Sunday before we actually get some direction going on here. Thank you, Dark Side. I appreciate the compliment there. You, my friend, are the best. Thank you for coming on to the live stream here, smashing that like button there. And what says Pippin started flying again? I mean, I already talked about Pippin. I think Pippin could be on its way to like 80 cents. It might reclaim 65 cents, and then it could probably go up to 80 cents. Yeah. And let me see. Vint Gao says should put below 68.3 below the support. You're talking about for a stop loss? I usually keep my stop losses tighter than that. If we go down to 68.3k, I want to get, yeah. Like I'm game planning 68,600 because I'm putting my stop loss relatively tight below the 50-minute candle wick here. Or wait, it was like right over here. One of these lows here. But yeah, 68,300 would be more conservative on the stop loss, but you're also risking more too. Oh damn! What? You shorted Bitcoin at 87k before the crash? So you should be making money unless you you closed out the short too early. And that can happen too, you know. Sometimes it actually makes sense, like to take partial profits on your short. Like let's say Bitcoin is gonna go down to you know 50k. You can make a lot of money shorting Bitcoin right now at 68,000 or 69,000, and then watching it go down to 50k with a leveraged short. But you could take partial profit at like, you know, 67k, take some partial profit at like you know 63k is the level that I highlighted here. Take some more partial profit at 60k, and then leave a little bit. So you can do maybe like 25%, 25%, and then 25%, and then still have like 25% of the position in case we do drop down to like 50k, and you're gonna be like, oh my god, thank god I held on to something and just kept that short running. So that's something I do. We call that keeping a runner, right? You take most of your profits when you get to your take profit zones, but then you can leave a little bit in there in case we go do something crazier where we drop down to like 50k on a short on Bitcoin. Right? If we go down to 50k, you're gonna make a lot of money on your runner. Maybe hold on to like 10 or 20% of your position in case we do drop down to that level. All right, we got 69. What a great number. 69 people viewing the live stream right now. But guys, I am planning on ending the live stream. I usually go live between 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. So don't forget to follow me here, guys, on the TikTok live stream. Click the picture to the top left corner. You know, you'll be able to go into my profile, and then you can just follow me here on TikTok, right? And we'll just end it one more time here. And join the 6,500 followers here. And then you can click on my link tree here in the bio to like find the other links that I got here to join like WEEX exchange. I mean, if you click on that, you'll see you know, WEEX. You can start trading crypto on WEEX. You can start trading crypto on MEXC, and you can also trade gold and silver on these exchanges too. So it's not just cryptocurrencies. And I think MEXC has stocks. You can actually trade like Apple and Tesla and stuff like that on MEXC exchange. So it might be worth taking a look at. And yeah, you can also join the Meet Damien Discord server when when I'm not live streaming. You can find me here on the Discord, free to join, not going to cost you anything. And then you can see me here. You'll see when I go live. You'll see what trades we're getting into. You talk to other experienced traders like Cameron's pretty experienced trader here. And learn from the best. Learn from the ones that were doing it every single day here. Okay, every single day. There's me, talking about shorting Bitcoin, right? I got in at $69,000. All right, so there you go. There's a way to stay in touch with me. You can also stay in touch with me on Twitter. You don't want to do a Discord. I do have a Meet Damien Twitter here, where I usually post up, when I'm going live on Twitter here, and I post up some funny stuff here, some funny meme videos here. And anything else I can find that's cryptocurrency related, I'll post up here. I also post up the stock market stuff too. But yeah, this is actually pretty funny. Let me just show this video here. For those who love to take screenshots, let me go ahead and turn the volume off here real quick here. But for those of you who like to take screenshots before you take profit, I mean, you should probably watch this video. It's kind of funny.
Hey, Mr. Dinky's busy. Hey, Dinky.
And then that happens. Yeah, don't do that, guys. Don't round trip your bags here. I'm pretty sure you guys have probably seen that happen. It might have happened to you already, but make sure that you take profit before you take a screenshots for my day traders out there. Okay, you can actually, when you go and take profit, you can actually go back into your trade and actually look at the information about that trade, and it can show you. You can take a screenshot after you take your profit. So don't forget to do that, guys. All right, take profit before you take the screenshot. That's my word of advice for you guys out there. But yeah, guys, that's it for this live stream. Let's listen to some music on the way out, and I'll see you guys on Monday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern time.